right? So a lot of folks come to the senior center because they're looking for connections, right? And that often happens as we start feeling isolated, and it can be harder to maintain friendships as we get older. So to help address this, staff at the senior center are very intentional about designing programs that bring people in to build connections. So Conversation and Friendship Corner is a new program, okay, where members can tell stories and work on friendship building skills in a comfortable setting. The program was so popular that they recently added a second session. And here to talk a little bit more about this is Joe Lamey, the class facilitator. Joe, if you'd like to come up and say a few words about that.
I facilitate a couple of groups in Friendship and Conversation Corner. And what we do is battle loneliness from the inside out. We tell stories about our lives, and we have no shame, so that we make positive comments to each other, so we feel comfortable in opening up wholeheartedly about who we are. And when we tell a story about ourselves, the most exciting thing happens. We illuminate each other and ourselves. Somebody will be telling a story about something they had done a long time ago, and they were stumbling and making a fool of themselves, but they conquered. They came through. And what happens is all of us recognize that. We learn empathy, that we all share the same basic needs, and it's probably the most satisfying thing I've ever done in my life, because I get to see people feeling comfortable and connected, oftentimes for the first time in quite a while. When our spouse leaves us or our favorite neighbor moves away, we have a hole in our heart. And until we can develop that sense of comfort again, we feel sort of disconnected. So this has been fun for me and the rest of the people I get to work with. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And now I have the privilege to introduce somebody that really needs no introduction, somebody that probably has a personal relationship with just about everybody in this room. She's committed to community. She's someone that loves working in the area of aging. I've gotten to know her a little bit in prep for this program. She leads this organization with such empathy. She's an amazing human being. Please join me in welcoming the Senior Center of West Seattle's Executive Director, Amy Lee Berenbaum.
To see all of you in the room this morning. And I'm really honored to have all of you have taken time out of your lives to be here with us today in celebration. So thank you so much for being here. It's hard for me to contain my excitement. I'm just so excited about today. We get to spend time with all of you, our amazing supporters of the Senior Center. We get to raise money to fund the fabulous programs that our staff team create and run. And we get to announce our new name, which I promise we'll be doing just a little bit later. One of the reasons I'm so excited is the growth the Senior Center has experienced during the past 4 years since I started as Executive Director. We had about 600 members pre-pandemic, like 2019, 2020, before COVID. Then during the depths of that pandemic, we went down to about 375. Well, we just hit 1,312 members. And what's also exciting is the huge range of our members. Our youngest member is Claire Seitz, who is here today. She's 27. Claire's here. She joined us a couple months ago. And then our oldest member is Emil Martin, and he's 102. Every week to play bridge, and he just like runs up the stairs, he runs the group. It's just like you would never know that he was 102. And then Whoops, you might have slid a little bit. Oh, no, here we are. Sorry, I'm reading from the thing. So I love this line. We are a place for everyone to grow into whatever age they're ready. People want to be at the senior center because it's a fun, engaging place full of energy and vibrancy. In fact, we have a whole team of volunteers whose job it is to ensure our newest members know their way around and can navigate our programs. We want people to feel welcome and included. Our staff are incredibly creative and resourceful in listening to member needs and interests and designing programs that match. And our members know that they'll find more than 40 classes and activities every week to get involved in. To illustrate this variety, here are just a few examples of recent programs we've had: Cannabis 101, Sound Bath Healing, Pickleball Injury Prevention, which is a thing, Empathy Hour, and a technology lecture about what to do if you've been hacked. There's always something new to learn or experience in our building. Many people come to the Senior Center first as volunteers, and we regularly have around 100 to 200 people volunteering every year with us. Volunteers are extremely important to helping us run our Stop and Shop thrift store, which is a very important revenue generator for us. Sorry. Volunteers are extremely important, yes. We also want you to know that if people need additional support, our staff social workers, we have 2 staff social workers, we're super lucky. They are here to help provide resources and referrals for the things we face as we age. They also provide counseling and do outreach to the most vulnerable older folks in our community. And our social workers offer opportunities to participate in one of our 5 support groups, including one for folks with Parkinson's diagnosis, one for people who are low vision, and one for caregivers. And of course, we want to keep our community fed. We are the best kept secret in town when it comes to delicious and affordable lunch. We offer hot meals in a communal setting Monday through Thursday, and a cafe-style lunch option with soups, quiches, salads, and sandwiches prepared from scratch every weekday. As we continue to grow, we plan to eventually add programming outside of our building, most likely in partnership with other nonprofits. This will help us better meet the needs of a more diverse group of community members and serve folks as they're aging in Delridge and White Center and Pigeon Point and other pockets of our community. We hope to add more afternoon and evening programming so members who are still working or prefer to be active later, Sue, we'll have a place can come and, sorry, I had to do that one. We'll have more options later in the day. And our new name is also something I'm very excited about. We began exploring our new name about 2 years ago in response to feedback from our members and community members, which show that a lot of folks over age 50 don't identify as a senior. It was a fun process, holding focus groups and surveying our members and the broader West Seattle community about what a new name might look like. I truly feel that our new name celebrates everything we love about our organization, its members, and our community. It also better suits our goal to welcome in a wider demographic into our programs and be a place where everyone feels included. Ultimately, we want to reflect the vibrancy and energy of what's happening inside our building out into the broader community so we can support the next generation as they age. And I'm thrilled about our growth and all the potential we have. And I'm also going to be honest to say that we can't meet that potential without your help. As we serve more people every month, our expenses are also rising significantly. Individual donations make up a substantial portion of our annual budget. We need your ongoing long-term commitment to ensure that everyone has access to this fun, welcoming place and the services to support them as they age. Your investment today means so much as an endorsement of our work. Thank you for helping us be a place where our community can gather, learn, and thrive. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy Lee. So she's not kidding when she says one of the best kept secrets is the deli, the restaurant there. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's so good, isn't it? It's amazing. I know. Yes, the homemade soups, homemade bread. It's incredible. What else I really liked to hear in the background while you were talking was sounds of bottles of champagne popping. So that's always the sign of a good morning, right? When champagne's popping like that. So as Amy Lee just mentioned, your investment matters. And there's a group of people who are having a significant impact on this organization. And that's the Senior Center's Jewel of the Junction donors. So if you're not familiar with that, this special group of supporters who have said they will provide a financial investment of at least $1,500 for 3 years. Okay? So we have someone that's going to get up and talk a little bit about that. And his name is John Bennett. So John, if you could come on up and talk about why you made that commitment yourself, and you can talk a little bit more about the Jewel of the Junction. Please welcome John Bennett.
Well, thanks. Amy Lee asked if I'd come and talk about Jewel of the Junction. And I tried to put a speech together and use a teleprompter, but I'm kind of old school, so. When I first was introduced to the Senior Center was back in 1986 when my friend Craig Roberts was putting together the deal for the sale of the building, which was pretty interesting. And I'm in real estate. I own Luna Park Cafe, amongst other businesses. And he put it together, and they did a great remodel. And it is an amazing place, and it is kind of a hidden gem. Not a lot of people know about it, but I started to go to a few of the evening events. My friend Ben, who you probably know as Sylvia Staplemore, says, you gotta come to the Rainbow Bingo and see what fun. So I went there, and it was great. And then I started going to other events. I think I had the West Seattle Big Band, which is all the ex West Seattle High School students. It was great. And I'll apologize to some of my friends who have already heard this story 100 times, but one of my favorite times there was we were at one of the events in the evening and went over to the cafe, which turned into the bar. And I was over there, and I had never been there, and so the bartender, I don't remember who it was, the bartender there, was getting a drink. I was there with my wife, and we're getting a drink, and I saw the menu, and I said, so this is a cafe? He said, yeah, it's a cafe. And I go, well, how does it work? I mean, do you just walk up here and get lunch, or what? He says, well, you know, it's you come up here and we have food, and we provide, you know, lunch for seniors. And she goes, and you know, depending on what you have or what you want to pay, you just decide what you want to pay. And if you're, you know, if you're a senior, you get a discount. And then she looks at me, and I said, well, that's great. And I have to tell you, my wife is quite a bit younger than me, and she was there with me. And so she looks at me, and she goes, yeah, so you're a senior. And then she looks at my wife, and she goes, and you are a senior in high school. At that point, I knew I was in. But you know, I've been impressed with you know, all the things they do, especially during the pandemic when they were reaching out for, you know, housebound people that couldn't get out, and it's just so amazing. I personally go there every Tuesday to play cribbage. It's awesome. And one of the guys I played with the other day, he goes, I can't believe if you would have told me 20 years ago that the highlight of my life was going to be playing cribbage at the Senior Center. That would be crazy, but here I am, so it's great. The Jewel, you know, I was a member, and then one day at the center, and he goes, well, you should become a Jewel of the Junction, which just seemed like a brilliant idea, so I did that. And you know, for some of you that are younger, it's just kind of paying it forward, but you know, I really like supporting all the programs they have there, and you know, if you have the capacity at this level, I really invite you to join me and become a member of the Jewel of the Junction Circle. So your money's going to a good place. Thanks.